Hello there, I'm Daz. Today I am at Four Leaf Fishpacking Plant on the world map. We are not too far from General Atomics factory. There we have the castle and South Boston High School. So I'll be making a walkthrough of this location, including the hidden area, Marowski's Chem lab, which is beyond a concealed doorway right up there on that upper walkway, just at the side of this terminal right there. So there are three methods of entering the hidden area, which I'm going to be doing first. The first method is to hack this master level terminal. The second method is to obtain the password for that terminal, which you can do. What am I doing? Hit the wrong button, sorry about that. So you can obtain the password for the terminal playing through the Diamond City Blues quest. The password is obtainable from a character called Trish. The third method of entry is to solve a puzzle involving a series of 5 tripwires that we can discover around this location. I'm going to be taking that approach. That is the most interesting of the bunch. So what we need to do is trip these 5 tripwires in the correct sequence. This is the first one that needs to be tripped. As we get the sequence correct, these will deactivate as we go around. We need to avoid this tripwire here. If you hug this fence, you should be perfectly safe. This is a tripwire, it needs to be tripped second. Okay, so once again, avoiding this tripwire, we need to head round towards the large entry doors and trip this third tripwire. If you get this wrong, do not be concerned. All that will happen is the tripwires will all reactivate and you'll need to start the attempt from the beginning. You're not going to get blown up. So we now trip this one as the fourth tripped tripwire. The final tripwire is up near to the entry point. So during this walkthrough, I'm going to be pointing out a few safes, crates, toolboxes, etc. Also a skill magazine. I'm not going to be concentrating on junk. We have a crate right there. We have a fusion core in here, which I nabbed earlier. There will be 3 fusion cores. I'll point out all of those. Around here, we have a meal vantage point for one of the railroad weather vane quests. So just before I head down onto that walkway and enter the chem lab, I need to show you this expert locked safe right there. I'm not going to bother picking the locks of these safes. It's just a little bit too time consuming and the loot is random in any case. So here is the 5th tripwire that needs to be triggered. And there we are, our entrance is revealed. So there are inside we're going to find Walter White and 3 associates brewing up some strong gear.
We got trouble.
Okay, so that's the drug makers dealt with. So obviously you can strip these guys, take the hazmat suits if you want to put your settlers in fancy dress. There are quite a few chem coolers dotted around the place and loose chems sitting around. I'm not going to dwell on this too long. You can take a look around here yourself now that you've gained entry. A bunch more chem coolers in here. Okay, and other sundry loot. Okay, so you can actually access the interior of the fish packing plant through this terminal and doorway. This leads to a broken walkway, so you can drop down into the fish packing plant from there. You might suffer a little bit of fall damage, but probably nothing too serious, but it will be a one-way trip. You cannot get back in here from inside the fish packing plant. Well, not without a jetpack in any case. Okay, so I'm going to enter through the main double doors downstairs. So I've cleared out the ghouls already inside the fish packing plant. The ghouls inside there actually seem to be levelled. I'm at level 64 and a couple of the ghouls were at my level, so I was facing some charred ferals. So here we are. So a fusion core that I can now take, along with an expert locked safe. I'm not going to pick that, as mentioned earlier. I've not seen any keys lying around, so it looks like you're going to need to pick those locks if you want to get inside the safes. There's one of the charred ferals I had to deal with. We have a bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum for anyone looking to make mixers. Okay, there were some boards over this drop that will take you down into the basement area. It's a little bit fragile, so be careful if you step across that. I'm going to walk around and not risk the jump. So, back at the other side of that little drop, we have a novice locked tool case and some junk. So, this door will be locked when you first arrive here. It can be accessed with this novice level terminal, which will also give you Protector-on control as well. So anyone can get into this area. We have another fusion core right there, and an open tool case right there. Okay, I think that is it. We have a first aid kit. I'll grab that. Okay. So we can now head down into the basement. Almost done. Vault-Tec lunchbox and a Nuka-Cola. We've got some more trivial loot in here, a teddy bear and another Nuka-Cola. I said I wasn't going to bother with junk, did I? But I couldn't resist it. So I will pick this security gate advanced lock. Got you. Okay, so we have an open tool case and an open tool chest. Nothing else in here. Oil on the floor, so be careful if you come in here all guns blazing. So in here, besides the junk, we have another first aid kit, and in here a bobby pin box, a Nuka-Cola bottle, that's no use. Doesn't seem to be anything other than junk in this little area. But in here we have a steamer trunk with quite a bit of stuff. Toilets with nothing other than a container behind this mirror. And finally, we have our skill magazine, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor. Gives us better prices when buying and selling. Or just buying, apparently. Shows you what I know. Okay. So I hope people have found this useful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.